Hi, everyone. Welcome back to God's Whispers, a place where we take the time to pause and reflect on the word of the Lord. Today's reading from the Gospel according to John is pretty powerful. It's all about being judged. A woman is dragged into a public space, exposed, accused, surrounded, and the religious leaders say that she should be stoned. Let's listen. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, but early in the morning he arrived again in the temple area, and all the people started coming to him. He sat down and taught them. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery and made her stand in the middle. They said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the very act of committing adultery. Now in the law of Moses commanded us to stone such a woman. So what do you say?" They said this to test him, so that they could have some charge to bring against him. Jesus bent down and began to write on the ground with his finger. But when they continued asking him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let the one among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Again he bent down and wrote on the ground, and in response they went away one by one, beginning with the elders. So he was left alone with the woman before him. Then Jesus straightened up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She replied, "No one, sir." Then Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, do not sin anymore." So in the first century Jewish law, when I was doing my reading, adultery was a serious offense. And what was striking, or interesting here, I should say, is that only the woman was brought forward. So this wasn't really about justice. It was about public shame and then testing Jesus' authority. If he said stone her, then he would be contradicting all of the messages of mercy that he was always speaking of. And if he said let her go, he would be accused of ignoring the law. So they thought they had cornered him. But obviously they didn't, because he bends down and he just starts writing in the dust, sitting in silence. And then when he said, "Let the one without sin cast the first stone," they each began to leave. Because, and I think that's where it might hit home for some of us, it's easy to point out somebody else's mistakes, hold on to judgment, and forget our own need for grace. And then when Jesus turns to the woman and says, "Has no one condemned you?" And she says, "No one, Lord," "then I do not condemn you either. Go and sin no more." Notice he doesn't ignore the truth, but he leads with mercy first. So this story obviously is not just about the woman. It could be about all of us, because at some point we've all sinned. And at some point, we've all held those stones, wanting to condemn someone else, or we've needed grace. So I think journal prompts that would go along with this passage would be, where am I quick to judge others instead of showing mercy? And where in my life do I need to receive grace instead of carrying shame? And then finally, what would it look like to live differently after being shown mercy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Leave me a message. And don't forget to subscribe so you can continue to hear God's Whispers.